coffee.
Okay.
This is Anna Mitsulitsa and this is Chicks That Drive, and today I have a very special guest, one of my favorite people of all time, Bozhidar Borovic, a self-made person, immigrant like me, investor in real estate and entertainment, and just a great human being. So guys, welcome Bozhidar Borovic.
Hi guys.
Can you fit?
I can fit.
You can fit.
I can fit.
Can we see you? Alright, so we are going to be driving MacLaren 650 Snyder. You grab that and you push it down and watch the seatbelt.
There you go.
Tell me, how you came to the States. What,
It was tough times. It was during a war, and
In the 90s.
in the 90s, and I was drafted, and so I didn't really want to. I was drafted
in
in the military, so I would have been actually my duty was special forces, because at 18 I was drafted into that, and then when the war started, then it was a mandatory military service at the time when you were 17 or 18, and then 20, 21, 22, whoever was in that age range all the way to 27, they were drafted to the war. So I was in special forces, and I'd have died for sure, because you go in front, to the front lines.
They just put you like me.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. You're 20, young and stupid, let's kill him, for the political reasons. So I was one of those guys that was like, no thanks. Had my aunt here in New York, and she made an invite. My dad and I went to the embassy, and they weren't giving visas to anybody.
Wow.
I got a tourist visa by just pure miracle, and I came here, applied for student visa, didn't get it,
Oh, wow.
and then I hired a lawyer to get me an asylum due to the circumstances of the war and religious prosecution and whatnot. So yeah, I was granted temporary thing for like 4 years. I waited for 4 years before I received a green card, and then consequent 5 years after I received my citizenship.
Was it so you came on on your own? Describe to me if you remember your first days in the US.
Horrible. When I came to New York, I was actually visiting New York on weekends, but I was really living with my aunt in New Jersey, and pretty isolated. So all I would do is just lift weights and learn 100 English words a day. I was pounding 100 words a day, listening to TV. TV was like, I would listen to TV, I wouldn't understand anything. It was like, really, what are they saying? They were too quick. In 2 months, after 2 months listening to all the words and all, pounding 100 words a day in English, I was like, okay, I can go to school. So I got accepted to college, and believe it or not, college was a lot easier than European school. So first semester I got all straight A's. Not that I'm smart, but thank you. But the school was super easy. It's all multiple choice. I grew up in Europe where everything is oral exams. You have to know the whole book.
Right.
I clept, one time I clept economics in Europe when I was 19 years old. 3 months, took me 3 months to clep 20 books, but you had to know every single book. So here, taking tests every 2 weeks was nothing. It was easy. Psychology, English, government, whatever. The silly classes that I was taking, they were easy, but English was the hard part. So it was really tough to adjust. And then the social life in Europe versus social life here, totally different. I was pretty isolated, I had that wild streak, let's have fun, blah, blah, but seemed as if in rural areas that people were a lot more shy and looked at me kind of like, who is this strange foreign guy? And
more like inside,
it was right. It was tough times until I got adjusted to American culture. Realized.
How long did it take you to?
About a year. Going to school, learning about their culture, and talking to people. Beginning to date and hanging out with different people, learning, jobs with, using English, and using it while working, using it in school, using it with somebody that you're going out with, And then actually after about 3 years being here, I started dreaming in English. That was the first
yeah,
time.
that's how they say, like, you started to like really get the language when you start to like
Yeah.
dream in the language. So you were in real estate. How did you get into real estate? Tell me, share your secrets that you care to share, and
Yeah.
about the risk and
Well,
risk reward.
I was pretty young, and in 90s I was like, well, I gotta make some money. I gotta figure this out, And the real estate started booming 98, 99. And by 2001, I'm like, I gotta get in.
And you were how old at that?
20s.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like mid-20s by then. And I decided I am going to do something about this. At the time, loans were very easy to get. And if you had and it was a joke at the time, if you had a good credit score and a heartbeat, you can get a loan. So you walk into a bank and you can pretty much get 80-20, 90-10, which are 100% loans. So getting those loans, it was incredible times because every 6 months to a year, every house would appreciate between 30 and 50%. Any house you buy. The easiest way to do it was buying brand new homes from builders because you don't have to repair them. There's no downtime. You don't have to do anything. All you do is you buy a house, you sit on it, 6 months to a year, you sell it. Why did I do 6 months to a year? Some people waited 2, 3, 5 years. I didn't know when this is gonna end. This could have ended, in 2003. I didn't know. So I played it safe, so it was a calculated risk. I'd buy a couple homes, I'd flip them in 6 months when they appreciate, I'd buy another batch, sell them again when they would appreciate, and so on. And so I was going like that for 5 years because I didn't want to get stuck with multiple homes and the real estate goes down, I lose massive value, I can't carry the mortgages, and a lot of people have gone bankrupt like that and they have gone out of business. Luckily, not this foreigner.
Not this one. Calculated risk.
Calculated risk.
Did you ever feel like, the thrill is like, oh my god, like if I just buy a whole stuff,
Yeah, so I wanted to buy batches of homes, 2 to 5 homes per time, and then unload them. And then I would take that money and 1031 exchange. So everything that the equity that I built in these homes, I would take that equity, put them in a 1031 exchange account, which was here in LA.
And what is the 1031?
1031 exchange is a company that takes your money out of the proceeds of the sale, holds it, it's tax free. If you buy an equal or greater value property, if you exchange that money and purchase equal or greater value property in the consequent purchase. So you can take 1, 2, 3, 5 homes, put them all in one batch, and you can buy between 1 and 5, 10 homes. So it's pretty flexible. You have to choose properties within 45 days and you have to close them within 6 months. And so what I would do is I would buy smaller homes here and there all over Southern California, sell them all pretty much at the similar time because you can really unload homes so quickly. They were like liquid cash. It was so quick. You can just sell them, close them within 15, 30 days. And then the money sits, you pick up commercial property, you put a 20 over a bigger value, you put a 20 from the proceeds and equity, you put 20% down on a bigger property, and those bigger properties were 100 to 100 units at the time, and then they're cash flowing. So out of the cash flow you have your monthly income, and you can save that. And what I also did is I would save a bunch of money. I always have 100, 200, 300K in the bank to hold, just to have to pay for all the mortgages just in case something happens for 6 months.
But you work hard and you buy good things.
You reward yourself.
But you gotta work hard and smart.
Yes, hard and smart. And like I said, there's good timing. That you have to recognize the good timing when you pull the trigger, when you don't pull the trigger. And there's a little bit of luck too, because not everything that is good timing and you think of it, wow, this is going to be a smart idea.
Coronavirus can happen.
Coronavirus, they call black sheep events, meaning certain events that could happen, or people, business partners that you're with may make some wrong decisions, and you can be stuck in a deal for a while, or people that you're doing deals with. So there are a lot of third-party issues that could also damper your success, and nothing is a smooth run. It's always like this, always like this. So you win some, you lose some. Even Trump. Think about Trump, right? He had 3 bankruptcies or 4 bankruptcies with casinos. Casinos should be making the most money in the world, and yet he had to. So every businessman.
It's always it's a roller coaster.
One thing I have learned the most is. You learn the most when you are losing money, when something wrong is happening and you are not winning. You learn so much about it. You learn exactly what to do next, that you will never make those mistakes again, and you will be so much better at that. So I've even heard that from one of the sharks on a Shark Tank saying, I would rather work with someone who had so many losses in their life than a constant win, because they don't know how the real life works. What it is
to lose, yeah.
They would rather work with entrepreneurs who had plenty of losses, which means that they were experienced.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the learning curve of when you're, in a down economy, or when you're losing, it's huge. Something that, when your sales are going up, it's like everything is rosy. So like, let's.
Or stock market is going up.
Yeah, you are riding high, and then you really learn. And
anybody can make money in a high stock market. Anybody, you put money in and it goes up.
And it goes up. It's
right.
Not a rocket science. So what advice would you give to like someone who is either looking to start in real estate, or like some other like entrepreneurial venture? Because what you did, it basically ran your own business.
Right. Pretty much, yeah. I ran my own business for past almost 18, 19 years. So the advice would be, don't be scared. If you think your idea is great, don't be scared. Second, start slow. Do not overinvest. If something works for 2-3 months, don't overinvest. It's kind of the same as with stocks. A lot of times you think what you're doing, your stocks are trading 3 months to 6 months, everything is wonderful. Kind of pace yourself. Don't get too big too quick. Once you become an expert, which is you have to spend, there are a lot of different rules to that, but they say you have to spend 1,000 hours in something to become an expert. So once you feel like you really got this, you're an expert, you spend 1,000 hours in it, then you can ramp up the business. But first thing is to be fearless, and usually people are fearless in 20s. In 30s they're more cautious, in 40s they get more cautious. So if you have that entrepreneurial mind and zest and drive, start it, do it. Make sure that the risk is calculated, that you're not going to lose your pants by just really doing dumb decisions. But make sure that whatever you do, you have an exit strategy. You always have to have an exit strategy. What if this business doesn't work out? Can I sell it? What's my exit strategy? What's the plan B? And then plan B, plan C, and so on. Right now I'm in different deals and startups and different investments and whatnot, but I wouldn't have dared being in any of that so early in my life, because I just didn't know anything about it, and it takes hours to learn anything.
So would you advise start somewhere where you kind of have like a sort of an idea, or like some knowledge?
You studied it. You've been, like a dry run, you've been doing it. Kind of like what they teach you at stocks. They give you you can trade, mock trade for 6 months with fake money. And it's not real money. So you kind of learn how to do this, stock options, naked put, this and that. I just started learning about it. And it's really fun. I'm still learning. But what you do is, forex trading is amazing, especially if you trade it in foreign countries. In America, they give you 50 leverage. In foreign countries, you can get up to 3,000 leverage. which you're trading currencies. You're trading gold and silver. So it's interesting, you know. All my life.
Still trading? Are you trading with real money or fake money?
Right now, I am doing small batch with my own money, about $3,000 to $5,000, and then I'm trading with a big batch, like $100,000 with the mock money, just to see, you know, how I'm doing. So I'll do that for about 6 months, and once I have 1,000 hours under my belt, and I feel that I have studied charts enough, that I know the trends, I have studied the companies, I know, and I have a feel for it, because in a lot of, believe it or not, in a lot of entrepreneurial decisions that I have made, and I've heard this from so many people, and you can confirm this, your feel of this will work, this will not work. Your feeling, you kind of have that gut feeling, and I know women have the even better.
Always listen to your gut feeling.
Yeah, your gut feeling, intuition, it tells you, you know, it's not gonna work, or this will really work. I just have a feeling, and I know if I do this, if I pull a trigger, it will be good. Every time I have done this when I was younger, and I said to myself, I don't know, I know this will work, but I'm not ready to pull a trigger. I was wrong, because it worked out. And so later on in life, every time I have the strong feeling, I actually pull the trigger now, because I trust my intuition.
Yeah.
So trust your intuition. You know best, because you know how, you know, especially if you have experience. You know, I understand for young entrepreneurs, if you don't have experience, it's very difficult to go back and say, well, you know, I've done this, I've done that, I know this will work. It's hard. So the advice for young entrepreneurs is start small and learn a lot about it, and then slowly grow. Nothing comes overnight. I know we want Ferrari, Lamborghini all overnight, quick money.
Let's talk about that. Overnight success.
It just doesn't exist unless you're 0.00001% that you win lottery. Good for you. We're waiting in line for a cup of coffee.
Small black. Small black cup of coffee.
MacLaren, baby. You guys like this or what? Let us know.
Comment.